Patch notes 13.13. As a reminder to everybody, 13.12 was one of the worst patches in all League of Legends history. I can say that safely as a person who's played this game for that long. It was one of, if not the worst metas we have ever experienced, with multiple S++ tier champions that completely dominate the game in every role effectively. We have Jax in top lane, we have Ivern and Rengar and Kindred, and Rek'Sai in the jungle. Mid lane's doing fairly decent. In bot lane, we have Kai'Sa, and in support, we have Rel. We have S++ tier champions in every role except, I think, only mid lane. The meta is terrible, completely bot lane focused. Everyone just plays bot lane. Whatever AD carry gets to 3 items basically automatically smashes the game. Reasonably, whatever AD carry gets to 1 or even 2 items completely smashes the game. The game right now is terrible. Playing this game feels bad. So what is patch 13.13 going to do? Will it fix this terrible meta? Will it get us to a better period? Well, let's read. At first, and this is what I noticed, we have a lot of nerfs and almost no buffs, which is good, because anytime Riot buffs a champion, the game becomes terrible. Anytime Riot nerfs a champion, the game becomes better. I think that that's a bit understandable when you think about it, right? Some people get really mad at that and say, I can't believe they would nerf my champion. But 90% of the time, terrible champions make the game worse for everyone. If one champion is overpowered, say Rel, say Rengar, say Jax, it can ruin the game for everyone playing it. Some bad champions, though, won't ruin the game for anyone except people who play only that champion. So I would say, overall, if you want the game to be better, you need to see patch notes more often like this. I'm not saying all the time, but I'm saying we need to see patch notes like this more often because, let's just say some champions ruin the game and very little seems to be done about it lately as Riot tries to attempt their only buffs balancing style, which is a terrible idea. I forgot to mention Static Shiv is also terrible and ruining the game. There's so much stuff ruining the game right now. I literally can't even think. It's just like a disaster. The game is a disaster right now. So let's go into it. The ranked season is stopping soon. We're going to do, basically there's going to be a soft reset and we're going to have a ranked season part 2, which I think is a very good idea and I think should probably happen more often. But it's a good idea that Riot's attempting it because we will get a new ranked season and then we can have some fun with the new ranked season. I think that's a good thing. So July 18th, these queues, let's see, July 17th, the queues will go down. July 18th, the queues will go back up. But July 17th, this is when July 17th is the last time you have to rank up. After that, I don't know why they're doing this here. I guess it's just because this patch is going to be a 3-week patch. But there you go. They're making some changes later. We'll go into it later. Let's just go through the patch notes. Okay. So Annie's Disintegrate is getting an AP ratio nerf and a base damage nerf. A lot of people think that Annie's overpowered. I don't think she's particularly overpowered. I think she's just really consistent and safe. Should a champion be nerfed for being consistent and safe? Yeah, actually, probably. So maybe it's a good idea that she gets nerfed. At either rate, it's not like a huge nerf. It's a 10 damage nerf on her Q, which definitely does impact her early game a bit, but 80 damage was a bit on the high end. I feel like the amount of damage in this game has gone pretty haywire lately. But anyway, 80 plus 0.8 AP was actually a good chunk of damage on a 4-second cooldown. So the AP ratio on her Q, the damage on her Q. So she'll scale a little bit worse and be a little bit less capable of killing people early game. Aphelios, who's an absolute monster of broken. Possibly, seriously, I totally forgot about Aphelios. Aphelios is a champion who, if he gets to 1 item, kind of just awkwardly ends the game. As he just starts to run around and one-shot everyone. So we have a nerf on his Severum. Severum! That's the... Anyway, the lifesteal on his abilities is going down substantially in Severum. The lifesteal on his attacks is also going down in Severum. The amount of slow duration he has on Gravitum is also going down. And the attack speed of his sentries is going down. They were at a 0.8 base, which is really wildly high. I'm not really sure what that was about. It was a 0.8 base. It's going down to 0.64, which is a bit more reasonable. Crescendum will still continue to be the most broken item aspect of anything ever added into League of Legends. Because you can't proc the turrets without being shot by them at least once. It means he will always proc the secondary weapon, and the secondary weapon can often be so broken that being shot by the turret once just wins him the fight. This means that to this day, Crescendum plus, for example, his sniper, whatever that's called, Calibrum, I think, will just totally destroy every melee character. You throw down the sentry, you run away from it. If a melee character chases you, you just start shooting max range attacks into them repeatedly. If you don't run through it, then he gets out of range, and now he's gotten out of range, and now he's good to go. So Crescendum, to this day, the sentry continues to exist as one of the weirdest things they've ever added, that a champion based on being an assassin with multiple weapons randomly has a turret. And that turret is so goddamn powerful, it completely... I mean, we're not even talking about the Crescendum 0 cooldown attack if you try to melee him. We're talking about the pure fact that these turrets are just some of the most broken shit they've ever added into League of Legends ever. So I would like to see this nerfed even harder, but nerfing it at all is a pretty good start. Ivern is also monstrously overtuned. One of the most broken champions in the game right now. I do not believe at all. I've looked through this patch already. I don't believe these nerfs at all go far enough at all into nerfing him. But they are hitting. His bonus magic damage on hit is going from 30 to 60 to 20 to 50, so 10 less damage on hit. The AP ratio is also going down by 10%. So Ivern will be getting a good chunk of nerfs to his damage. Then Daisy will have less movement speed and less damage on her slam. So Ivern's getting hit a good chunk, but he is so goddamn broken, I don't think this will go nearly enough. The amount of healing, shielding, etc. that he can do for allies with the items that he goes is insane. Riot really doesn't seem to understand just how broken this champion is right now, which we'll see recurring. Kindred is getting her base health down by 30, her base armor down by 3. Basically, Kindred does so much DPS that she was jumping into melee range and meleeing everyone to death. And even if you were good enough, that you could get, if you could stay out of her melee range, then the problem became that she could kite really, really good. And then with Trinity, she was tanky. So she could beat most champions in melee. If you're one of the melee champions that could beat her in melee, then she doesn't need to melee you. She can just kite. She has a 2-second cooldown on her dash, right? She has a slow. She has so much % health magic damage on her W. So what they're doing is they're trying to slow down her early game and make her more killable, which is probably a good idea. But at the same time, I think the fundamental problem is that she does way too much DPS. Her damage per second is way too high. They need to nerf that. They buffed it a bit ago. They need to nerf it. Take 10 damage off her Q and then take 5% attack speed off her Q and make it so that she cannot just giga DPS everyone down. She will still be able to perma invade. She will still be able to perma kite and destroy most melee characters. It's just she's going to have a little bit less, let's say, room for error. Because most of the time, Kindred should just DPS down every melee character without really getting hit by much, right? This just gives her more room for error, more rooms for making mistake. I don't think people realize just how broken. Let me try to explain. For you guys who don't believe me when I say this is one of the worst patches of all human history, if you look at Masters Plus, okay, Rek'Sai currently has a 55.81% win rate. We can see Kindred with a 54% win rate and the highest pick in jungle. That's not even including Rengar. That's not even including Ivern. That's not even including some of these other champions like Graves and Kha'Zix, who would be overpowered if these 4 champions weren't obliterating them. Suffice it to say, just to be blunt here, Riot needs to take really big steps to ensure Kindred stops doing this, because she's been doing this for like 10 years now. It's just lately people have finally started to think to themselves, what if we all just learned and played Kindred? What if we stopped being abused by Kindred mains, abusing a broken champion? What if we all just became the Kindred mains? And this is what happens. So, yeah. Lee Sin is getting a higher AD ratio in his Q, which is probably a poor decision because honestly, buffing any jungle right now is a terrible, 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 terrible call because there are 4 junglers who are stealing the win rate from all the other junglers. Just to be clear, okay? If you have 4 junglers that are being picked all the time and beating other junglers, 1 jungler has to win and 1 jungler has to lose. So 4 overpowered junglers means every other jungler will start losing win rate. Even a balanced champion will start looking like at 49, 48% win rate because they're losing to these giga broken junglers who are being nerfed. So I don't believe buffing Lee Sin is a good call. I don't believe buffing any jungler, including Nidalee down here, is a good call. This is a terrible idea. Riot is just so stupid. They're so stupid. They just can't admit they have power creep junglers so hard, and they keep doing it. You keep doing it, Riot. You're doing it again. Why are you doing it again? You're literally like, you're nerfing like 5 or 6 different junglers in this patch, and then you're going, let's buff this other jungler. I don't think anything will go wrong. Like, does it not get stupid to be this stupid? Do you not feel stupid being this stupid all the time? Okay. Neeko is getting changed. Their Q cooldown is going from 7 flat to 9 to 7. Yeah, basically, she's poking way too hard with her Q. If I can look this up here for a second. If we actually look at Neeko. Yeah, her Q damage is kind of goddamn insane. At 80 base damage, and that's just if she hits a champion, it can occur 2 more times. So, what is it? The total max damage is 150 to 530. Suffice it to say, this is a lot of damage, Riot, and that's a lot of damage to continuously chuck into people at range indefinitely forever. Probably should have nerfed the damage, but I guess nerfing the cooldown means that she can't spam it as hard. This does mean that hopefully more characters can play around Neeko without just getting poked out indefinitely. To compensate, one of the most broken champions in the game, who needs compensation apparently, they're increasing the on-hit damage of her W. Because Riot has a habit of like, okay, Riot has a habit of going up to like velociraptors and poking them with a stick. They just go poke, 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 and eventually the velociraptor eats them. And this is Riot with really, really terrible builds and champions that should not be buffed. So basically, Riot is poking the velociraptor that is on hit Neeko, and I've been watching them do this over the past few years. On hit Neeko is completely dominant, unbeatable. So they nerfed it into the ground, and they've been slowly buffing it back up. They're just poking that tiger. Again, they're just poking it. They're just poking away. I wonder what'll happen if this gets viable again. Top lane will become extremely shitty, completely dominated by on hit Neeko, and they keep poking that tiger, and they keep getting closer and closer. So, her R, now this is her big nerf. Instead of staying disguised for the entirety of her ultimate cast, meaning she can disguise herself, run up to you, and then ult you, she now only stays disguised for the first 0.5 seconds, then gets revealed for the remaining 0.75 seconds. So hopefully a Neeko that sneaks up on you no longer has a 0 counterplay kill from full. Now, to be blunt, they should have just undone the buff to Neeko's ultimate, because Neeko's ultimate is goddamn insane right now, coming in with 150 to 550 damage with a 1.2 AP ratio. An ability that is not hard to hit, an ability that several characters, melee characters, literally cannot dodge, does this much damage. In a way reminiscent of Kennen Ultimate, that's probably too much damage, right? Nidalee's getting more movement speed because Riot hates jungle champions. Okay. Rek'Sai's losing 3 bonus attack damage and 40 base HP. Why? Rek'Sai's dominating. Rek'Sai's dominating. Yeah. Will this be enough? No, it won't be. Not even close to enough. The problem is when Riot moved Rek'Sai's Q to a 2-second cooldown, at least in my opinion, it means that Rek'Sai's sustain damage is really high right now, and much like every single assassin with insane sustain damage, this now means that Rek'Sai is kind of destroying a lot of people. It's pretty common for Rek'Sai to unburrow, auto reset into Q. Oh, are you fighting a tank? The tank like tries to fight back Q. The tank tries to Q, and you're dead. So currently on top lane, Rek'Sai is being used to bully the crap out of everybody. Now, lowering her base attack damage and lowering her base health might be enough to take her out of top lane. I'm not sure, but we'll see. At either rate, we feel that her ability to clear camps and shrug off damage during skirmishes is too strong. You feel that? You feel that? They feel that. What gave that away? You think? Riot, what gave away that Rek'Sai might be a little strong right now? Did you have to use 2 weeks? Hundreds of manpower? Did you bring in a data analyst? Did you get Bill Nye in this one? Did you hire PBS to do a little inquisitorial exposition thing? I mean, oh man, it really takes all my brain power, right? I look at this number and I think to myself, now look, you could be like 51, even 52% win rate, and sometimes you can still be fine, right? But like once you reach 55.81%, it starts to be like, there's something about Rexy, because this is pretty goddamn clear, okay? And I know I'm sitting on this topic a lot, but come on. Really? This is all we get, Riot? Really? Rel. Okay. Rel's base regeneration growth is going down. Her base magic resist is going down, and her magic resist growth is going down by very low amounts on all 3. But then she does more damage to the jungle. Her shield is being nerfed. The shield amount is being nerfed by 20. So, remember what I was saying about this being one of the worst patches in all human history? So here's Rel right now. Once again, as a question to anybody watching, leave a comment. Anytime I ask these questions, make sure to leave a comment. You think Rel is balanced after this? She lost 2 magic resist, 0.2 magic resist per level, 0.2 health regen a level, 20 shield. You think she's balanced now, everybody? You think she's balanced now? Do you think this did it? Do you think she's fair now? Did we do it? Did we fix Rel forever? Did these nerfs go far enough on Kindred? Did they go far enough on Rek'Sai? Did they go far enough on Ivern? And we're going to see, did these nerfs on Rengar go far enough? What do you think, chat? Leave me a comment. They also buffed all her damage to monsters. Right. Okay. Varus one-shots everyone. That's been his meme. Varus one-shots everyone. Okay. So how does he one-shot everyone? He stacks Blight on you, then presses Q. And if you're still not dead, he presses R, then E. That's it. That's how he kills you from full. So the AP ratio on his on-hit magic damage is going up. But the AP ratio on his Blight stacks is going down. Probably not by enough to matter. I have seen Varus do 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 damage to me. I was playing Aatrox once. I remember that. I was playing Aatrox, and Varus ran up to me, and I actually beat him in the fight. But I had Sterix Gauge, I had Gore Drinker, I was Aatrox, I was healing, and he kept getting me low, and I kept healing with my passive, and I kept healing with my Gore Drinker, and I think he had done like 6,000 damage to me. He started the fight with, R, auto, Q, up, down at half. Okay, so I ran up, Gore Drinker, passive, hit back up. He presses auto, E. Okay, I'm down to half again. So I start healing a little bit, auto, Q. Breaks my Sterix Gauge. The shield entirely broke. Did another passive proc into Gore Drinker, healed up again, auto, Q. And this is, guys, this is over like the course of like 6 seconds, okay? And I have like 6,000 damage by a dude who's just face tanking me and unloading like half of a fucking just. So suffice it to say, there's basically no way to counterplay Varus right now as a bruiser or something. You basically, there is a way. You need to heal a lot, and that's what you need to do. And that's why I went healing Gore Drinker Aatrox, because I realized no other build would be able to survive it. On to Vi. Vi's health shield is going from 13% max HP to 10% because we're buffing Lee Sin. Vi's ultimate is also going up in cooldown. Pro play is obliterating another champion. Say bye-bye to Vi's viability. Haha, get it? Viability? Because she won't be viable anymore. Because no one's going to pick her. Because pro play. Get it, guys? Pro play is destroying Vi. Bye, Vi. Wukong. Damage to monsters is going from 120% to 100%. So basically, bye, Wukong. See ya later, monkey. It seems the developers have made a monkey out of this game's balance. Pro play, everybody. Okay, Duskblade of Drakthar is extremely overpowered, so they are nerfing it, but they're only nerfing it on Katarina and Samira. And that's it, nobody else. Cool, thanks, Riot. Essence Reaver is being nerfed. Okay, so this is the Rengar nerf. Did you notice there were no Rengar nerfs? Here's the Rengar nerf. Essence Reaver is going from 100% of base AD to 130% of base AD. Then it's going from 40% of bonus AD to 20% of bonus AD. This is the Rengar nerf. Are they, is this it? Oh, wait, no, apparently Stormrazor is the Rengar nerf. My bad. Who knew? Okay, so Static Shiv, the minion damage is losing its AP ratio entirely. No more AP champions going Static Shiv and one-shotting the wave. The regular damage to non-minions, as in to champions, is having its AP nerfed from 50% down to 30%. So basically, AP Static Shiv is dying. Bye-bye. Stormrazor is receiving a nerf as well. Shockingly, AD carries are scaling way too well still. That's amazing. I had no idea why. Could it be because of some Lord? Or maybe Dominic's? But they won't send their regards? Surely, quad buffing that item was a good idea. More damage again, more health damage, and now it affects magic damage. But why? But why are AD carries scaling way too well? It's a mystery. No one can figure it out. So Stormrazor is going from 15 damage to 90 damage, but the AD ratio, which was total AD, is going from 60% to 25%. Then the AP ratio is being removed entirely. So that means that Static Shiv's AP ratio is removed entirely on the minion damage, and also nerfed on the item itself, and now Stormrazor's AP damage isn't removed entirely. So, basically, Riot is all but admitting maybe AP ratios on AD items was dumb idea. Maybe making AD carries feel good about the 30 AP on Rageblade was stupid. Maybe Rageblade just shouldn't have 30 AP. If you're going to screw the entire game to a complete standstill, to one of the worst metas ever, because you don't want AD carries to feel bad, then you're an idiot. Anyway, ARAM changes, Mythic Shop rotation. Oh shit. Prestige DRX Aatrox is leaving the Mythic Shop. Already? Hasn't it been like 2 weeks? What happened? Okay, fixed a bug where Akshan's R would fail to reveal invisible champions. There were some bugs here. Okay, there's a Shyvana bug that actually seems important. Fixed a bug where Shyvana's Q Twin Bite would only grant Fury on the second hit. So it was granting half as much fury to use Shyvana's Q as it should have. Fixed a bug where Shyvana's Q Twin Bite would have a slightly longer cooldown in dragon form than in human form. So I'm not, like, these two bugs aren't going to make Shyvana viable, but they'll help a little bit. For all of you who love the Dragon Champion with the funny dragon mechanics, remember when they were going to rework Shyvana, and that was like 3 years ago now? Time flies, huh? Wonder what happened to that. Now let's get to skins. Elderwood Karthus. I like the art. I like what they're doing. I like where they're going with it. Okay. Elderwood Wukong. Don't like it. Kind of hate it, in fact. Looks pretty dumb. I don't know what they were going for. Not my style. Star Guardian Oriana. Oriana is now just actually a cute waifu. We've done it, everyone. Every female character is now a cute waifu. Who are we down to? So at this point, the first character to get waifu'd who didn't deserve to be a waifu was Kale. Let's see. We got Kale. We got Oriana. Who's left? Lilia. We had Lilia as well. So we have Rek'Sai's left. Anivia's left. Is that it? Huh. Star Guardian Seraphine. Dude. Seraphine players were so goddamn mad that this was a Wild Rift exclusive. Here, because they did this thing. They did this little teaser for it. And people thought that it was going to be coming to Summoner's Rift.
A diary or a record book. It'll be fun though.
And then they were like really mad. They were so mad.
I love cats, interstellar travel, and I'm a Star Guardian. What you reading? Watch this.
This is it. This is the
55%. Oh. Damage 250%.
Then they had this part. I remember I watched this with a I was watching this with a female friend who doesn't even play like video games, right? And she got to this last part and they were like, and she literally asked, "Are they gay?"
Don't forget that.
So anyway, that's my Star Guardian story. Elderwood Karthus in-game. Yeah. Elderwood Wukong. You know, I normally knock skins for not being unique, so it is unique. Like I'll give it to you. It's unique. It's unique. Okay. Okay. Star Guardian Oriana. Storiana. It looks pretty bad. Okay. It's just Seraphine with different hair colors. Looks kind of frumpy. Just me? I feel like this is the base one for some reason. And this one should be the chroma. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't know what frumpy even means, but if someone was to ask me what this skin looks like, it would be frumpy. I don't know. It just doesn't look good. For once, I feel like the Wukong skin got more attention than the e-girl skin. Oh, it's because they ported it from Wild Rift, right? They just ported it from Wild Rift, right? right? That's why it looks weird. Okay. That makes sense to me. So, thank you to everybody for watching. Now to read my loyal Patreon members. Remember, chat, if you guys support Hashinshin, then you can support me by supporting my Patreon. If you support my Patreon, you help me immeasurably. Remember, the more you support Hashinshin on Patreon, the more I can continue to make these videos and feed myself and my cat. Am I reaching? Anyway, sorry, they changed it every time I have to like relearn how to do this website. Okay, starting from the top. So the people who subscribe for the most money, and then the people who don't subscribe for the most money at the, not top. So top to bottom. Okay. Thank you, Monica, Stefan Ortman, Deep the Heretic, Nicholas Hinderer, T the Fish, Alex Tennant, Blazenrock, Ching Ming, Christoph Marks, Genny Shelburb, Horace the Burb God, Pancho Rodriguez, Quill of Anguish, Tenchi Kanashisa, Destroy, Sebastian, M. Zareen, Benji, Creador, Dengda, Daniel Fiala, Daruda, Yadgat, Eric Pendanelli, Flashholt, Fanaku, Full Yuki, Gwen Mato, Hun Arthur, J. Paul, Justice Here, Kelfo Zeramar, Kijubai, Ludwig III, Manuel, Metamag Morgan, Negative KDA, OMG Clover, Orahel Khanite, Oz, PBNJ, RH, Red Daddy, Scorpion, Scott Shapiro, Suki02, Terra, Under, Uvo Plaja, Veno, Vivian, WLC, League of Legends, Wolfman, and Jan. Remember, if you want to support Hashinshin for as little as, I think it's like $4 or $5 on Patreon. Anyway, the link is in the description, and you can support Hashinshin. Yeah, it's great. And sometimes I post there, and then nobody replies to me, which is really awkward. Thank you to all my YouTube members. You can see them down below. Thank you to my YouTube members. You guys are great. Thank you to people who subscribe to me on Kick as well. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everyone who supports me. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.